All right, welcome to Boystorm. This is the depression, the tropical depression. This is the first. I'm trying to say it's the first episode.
Yeah, is it?
Well, pretty much with cameras and stuff. We'll have stuff on Patreon.
It's the first one. We've had other.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those other ones.
But
We've
this
done
is
a
the first
couple
one.
others in the Chateau de Larson, but now
if
we're
you're not
here.
a Boystorm chaser, this is the first you're hearing this.
Yeah, welcome to it, man. I built this studio myself for us to use.
I know he did build this. He did build this.
It's pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
Not bad.
What do you think, Kyler? It's sturdy enough for Kyler.
This table is real solid.
Yeah.
Well, if this is our first episode,
yeah.
what's your name?
I'm Connor Larson.
I'm Kyler Finney.
I'm Lee Kimbrell.
And this is
Boystorm. Fuck yeah, dude. It rocks.
Yeah.
We got a good little thing going on.
We got a pod. What do y'all? Okay. We're only do one thing on the election. Rate the election for us. Out of how many booms?
Oh, this election gets 3 big booms.
Okay.
Boom, boom, boom.
I like that.
Oh man.
All right, and that's our election coverage.
Dude,
We're done.
I want to know who the Rizzler's endorsing.
Who is the Rizzler?
The Rizzler's the boom.
No,
I don't.
No,
I'm out
the
of
Rizzler
loop.
is the guy that makes the face, and I guarantee. I talked to him. It's RFK
talked to him.
Jr. is who he's endorsing.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
The Rizzler's endorsing RFK. Every sentence sounds like a Mad Lib. You know what I mean? And then you go, this is determining shit somehow.
Yeah, you think Kamala Harris likes double chunk chocolate cookies?
She very well might. She strikes me more as a chicken bake.
All right, that's been the fun. No,
Oh, dude.
what's your favorite Costco item? You know I love Costco. This is all I talk to you about.
I know mine.
Pizza.
Pizza?
Yeah, they have like
Their pizza's good.
I know.
pizza
Just
slaps.
to
Their
go-
pizza's good. It's,
Pizza.
You know what it kind of reminds me of is
Sam's Club.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
right.
any pizza ever?
Chuck E. Cheese.
I have
it
not
tastes
had
like
that
Chuck E. Cheese pizza.
in a
can
long
tell. You
time.
can
Well, I
Yeah.
haven't had it in 20 fucking years,
Yeah.
but in my mind, I take a bite of Costco and I'm reminded of Charles
Chuck E.
Entertainment Cheese.
Like 4 years ago, Chuck E. Cheese was going through a really rough time, probably because of COVID, and they started delivering the pizza.
Oh yeah,
So
you could
can
DoorDash
get-
Chuck E.
you can
Cheese
get
pizza.
Chuck E. Cheese pizza delivered.
Yeah.
Do you ever think in like companies like that, like companies that like make money, but we all know they suck? Is there ever a guy in the meeting who wants to be like, listen, I know we could do that. You guys know this stuff sucks, right?
Yeah, but
you
it's
guys
so
know no
bad.
one's gonna order this.
We all know that all of this food is bad.
Yeah, you go. If anybody, the only reason people eat here is because they can't leave their kid here. If they could
That's
get
it.
anywhere else, they would eat there.
Yeah, for sure.
And then that guy is like out of the meeting next week.
Yeah. Oh
He says
no,
it- he
he's
says
not
it
a
one
part of the company anymore.
Yeah, he didn't get any tokens.
Yeah. There's a lot of businesses like that where I go, someone should have said something in the meeting. They should have been like, yeah, we shouldn't do that. That's
But they
insane.
probably didn't because they would lose their job.
Yeah, it's true.
So they just have to be like, oh yeah, that's a
oh yeah.
good idea.
Yeah, imagine you got a tenure at Chuck E. Cheese. You've been saving up tickets to get something really cool, and then you fucking, you have a bright idea and get fired. All those tickets for what?
God, dude, I do love like an adult Chuck E. Cheese. Like, when's the last time you've been to a Dave and Buster's or anything like that?
Long
it is
time, dude.
so fun, dude.
Unless a comedy club is attached to it, I have not been.
Yeah,
and there's
fair
enough
enough.
comedy clubs that are attached to it where you go, all right,
To Dave and Buster's,
yeah, or something like,
or like
that.
in a mall.
Yeah.
Yeah, close enough.
And they try to be like, isn't this cool? And you go, no.
I love it though.
Yeah.
I fucking love Dave and Buster's. Last time I went to Dave and Buster's, me and my boys, it was for a friend of mine's bachelor party. He's very lame, and no, he's a great guy. But
No, he's
we
cool
went
with
to like a
get married
Dave
to a
and Buster's.
13-year-old?
Yeah, he's 12 himself. But not the whole group, but me and a couple other guys ate some mushrooms.
Yeah. At Dave and Buster's?
Wow.
You're going to have to explain this. I don't know. I
I
don't
mean,
know
it
what
was
happens.
amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so cool. It's so many lights and twinklies, and then you can like fucking hunt T-Rexes and shoot
Yeah.
basketball, putt-putt,
I don't know if you
golf
can call
carts.
them twinklies anymore. I
Yeah.
think that's like against the rules.
You can't call
Little
it
twinkly lights.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Thought you
Little
meant-
twinkly
I'm
lights.
I
not
thought you meant
comfortable
men.
enough in the world to do shrooms. I finally come to that conclusion. I used to do shrooms all the time when I was 16, and I'd be like, it's great.
That's young.
I know. But now I do shrooms, and I go, this is insane.
When's the first time you tripped, Kyler?
When did the McRib come back? He
It
was
was-
running.
it
He was
was-
trying to get there.
Yeah.
It was the Halloween of 2020.
Okay, there you go.
The first time I tripped.
Really?
Yep.
God,
Dark.
all his like years
was
are so
on-
recent.
It's insane.
It was
Yeah,
on
no.
Halloween. It was at my buddy's house. Him and his girlfriend were living in like her aunt's old house or whatever. and they had it all nice and decorated and very spooky. And we're dropping fucking mushrooms, and I took a little bit of acid at the same time, a little bit of acid, little shrooms, and I'm telling you, man, it was wild. It was a good time. Me and my girlfriend fucked outside under the moon. It felt so awesome.
Wow,
like
dude, animalistic.
Yeah,
kind of
That's
shit.
man, you're still at that age where it's not that far back to be like, yeah, I was doing some obviously dumb shit.
Fucking
You know
outside.
what I mean? No, I'm saying taking acid and shrooms and then being like, let's fuck outside. It's like so many. That's
Oh,
such
yeah.
a that's
It's a
such
young
like,
man's game.
Yeah,
Oh,
if you're
yeah.
doing that at my age, it's like objectively the saddest thing you could. Well,
Yeah,
it's,
you've got
it's
a
still
real
pretty cool,
issue.
but it's kind of sad.
She had this decoration in the window next to the table where all the goodies and snacks and yummy stuff were. And the decoration was outside the house, and it was a guy peeking through the window. And later in the night, I went to go get me some yummy Cheez-Its, and I saw the face, and I freaked out. Like,
Flipped him.
threw food, like ran out screaming, and they were all like, "Oh, it's the decoration. It got somebody." It's
Yeah.
like, you did it on purpose.
Yeah.
You knew you were gonna be fucking tripping, and you wanted to scare the shit out of somebody.
That is the worst kind of person, is if you are around and you're like, cool, let's take the fucking dive. Let's
Yeah.
do some psychedelics. And then the one person there who's like, I'm not going to take them, but I'm going to scare everyone.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, fuck you.
Also, you're not. It's not scary because I'm hallucinating.
Yes.
It's like I'm having an awkward interaction, and I'm on shrooms, so it's now 9.
My brain
times.
chemistry is completely different.
Yeah.
I am a fully different person.
Also, if a guy
Stop
came up to
trying
me-
to ruin this.
If a guy comes up to you at the gas station and starts fucking with you, you're like, what?
Yeah.
And then you're on shrooms, and you're like, double what? What's going on? What are you doing to me?
God, dude, I love a little shroom action, man.
Yeah, I
Ooh,
can't. I wish I could
love
still
it.
handle it. It's so fun, but
What is it that you can't? Do you think it's just too much?
yeah, it's like when I get too high and I just start having thoughts where I go like, is it weird that my left hand is holding this water bottle? And you go like, dude, I don't need this for 8 hours. I just really don't.
Fair enough.
I don't need
You got
this.
to work through that, man. You got to
Yeah.
get through all that.
I'll
Try
get
to
through
take
it.
it.
I'm not gonna. Nothing's gonna happen to me. But I'm gonna go. This is an unpleasant experience.
I had a really bad experience on mushrooms, weed, edible combo. It was a chocolate bar with 15 pieces, and it had weed and mushrooms in it.
Yowza.
And the back said it had the dosages on it. And I was like, man, fuck the dosages. I'm a big guy. And I ate the whole fucking thing. And bad news.
Buddy.
Yeah.
Horrible thing.
Yeah, that's.
I let
tough.
my cat go. I
What,
was
like
like-
forever?
was like, who am I?
Your cat.
What do you
go.
mean you
Who
let
am
your
I to
cat
keep
go?
I had
this
a cat. I was like, who am I to confine this cat? I was like, she wants to be free.
And you let her
I
outside?
opened the door. She went. I was like, "See, she wants to be
Did
free."
she come back?
And she just sat in front of the door, like, "Can I come in?" Now?
Yeah,
I'm
let
like,
me come back in. I want to exit the food chain.
One time when I was in college, we did shrooms, and I lived with this guy who was like a drug dealer, which looking back is such an unpleasant, just people banging
Terrible.
on the window at 2 a.m.
Yeah, dude.
You're
I've
like-
lived with him.
Oh. So we're all taking shrooms, and there's this one guy, I don't know him, he's a 6'8" black guy with dreads. And he goes, I've never taken shrooms. And I'm like, cool, man. So we're all taking shrooms. And then he's like not having fun. And
Not
we
having
go,
a good
he's
time.
really not having fun. He's a big dude. Like, he's not only is he 6'8", he's like strong. We're
Yeah.
like, all right. And he just starts saying stuff that, like, if he had told me before he had taken shrooms, I would have been like, maybe let's not take
Yeah,
shrooms.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? He's like, I'm still trying to figure out some shit with the court. And I'm like, God
Oh,
damn it.
should not be tripping.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, he's like
yeah, dude.
fighting with his girl, all this shit. So he goes, I got to get some air. And I go, yeah, get some air. I think he means he's going to go to the
Outside.
backyard. He just fully walked out the front door. And then we were real close to a highway, and I just watched him walk onto the highway ramp. And I go, what? And I
no,
went,
no.
and then I went, I'm on
Not my
shrooms.
problem.
This is not my, this is
Yeah,
not me.
Can't deal with it.
And I don't know how that's all I know. I don't even know what happened. He just,
Yeah.
I go,
yeah.
it's probably,
We Google it.
there's probably a story about it. It's probably bad. I just
Don't
go,
even know how that story ends.
No,
I
I just
like
freaked out and went inside. It was
little
like,
bits of shrooms. Like
That's where I'm at too. I
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 little capsules,
yeah,
like a half-eighth. I don't need to like melt and completely freak out. I need
Yeah.
to be able to. I love it when you like do any kind of substance and that first moment when it comes on and you're just like, whoa, nice,
Dude, I have like
I'm a little bit different right now.
I remember the first time I took shrooms, we went to my buddy's house, and we were like 15 or 16, and we're laying on the couch being like, these don't work. And he had his parents, like, this isn't like this is not a mansion. It's going to sound like it's a mansion. This is a regular, like, 1-story house. They had a painting on the ceiling above the couch. It looks crazy. It wasn't like,
Like on like a mural.
Yeah, like a
or-
fresco. Like, the guy
Yeah,
trying
yeah,
to touch the other guy's
Michelangelo.
finger. It was like that, but way worse. And I remember just looking at it, and it started to do like fractally, like kind of like move a little bit. And I was
Beautiful.
like, oh, but you're 15, so it's like this. I'll remember that forever.
Yeah.
That was so fun. And then I was taking shrooms, my buddy was taking shrooms, and then the guy whose house it wasn't. And he just invited like 5 15-year-old. We're all 15 in
Yeah.
this story.
Kids.
He invited 5 15-year-old girls over, which when I was a 15-year-old boy, nothing scared me more than 15-year-old girls.
Sober.
Just terrified.
Yeah.
And now I'm on shrooms, and they're like, "Oh, I see you around school," and I'm like, like it was the worst trip ever. But I remember that moment kicking in, being like, "This rocks."
That was last weekend.
It was last weekend, yeah.
You still get scared around 15-year-old girls.
Well, now
They're
I
scary.
should.
Yeah.
Also, for the record, I haven't seen a 15-year-old girl in years. If they're just not around, and that's how I structure my life.
Fair enough.
If they're at a show, I go, "Get them out of here."
15-year-old girl at a show would be wild.
Yeah, there's a window in your life where it's appropriate to know a 15-year-old girl, and it's called being a parent or being a child.
15-year-old boy.
But if you're
Yeah.
in between that and you know a 15-year-old, you better work at Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Amen to that.
You know
bro.
what I
Or be like a coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't all have 17
Even
nephews,
then, I think
Skyler.
that shit's weird.
What, being a coach?
Yeah, like,
Well, kids can't coach kids.
Yeah.
yeah,
Not yet.
I don't know.
Well, yeah.
Wait for AI.
You think AI?
No, that's just what I say now.
I
when
got
it
really
doesn't.
high on mushrooms one time and watched 300. It's the first time I ever saw 300,
Scaly.
and I was
It's
on.
the first time we
shrooms.
found out about the country of Greece.
Yeah.
No, I knew about Greece because Euros.
Okay, there we go.
Big fan of baklavas. Baklavas. I'm pretty good.
You sound like a big fan the way you're saying it.
Like ski mask.
Yeah.
Um,
Like ski mask.
Balaclavas?
Yeah.
Baklava?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I see what
Yeah.
you're saying.
whatever they're called. The
Yeah,
little,
yeah.
The little tasty treats with stuff in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I felt like I was in their world. Like I was on the couch watching it, and it felt like
Oh, 300?
yeah, it felt like I was watching Leo, whatever his name was, the guy who kicked the dude.
Leonidas.
It felt like I was watching him like
Oh,
give
Leo.
that speech. It was awesome.
He goes, "We got to listen to old Leo here and kick out the Persian."
Yeah, I mean, Leo kicked out that Persian. I knew he was Persian.
He was Persian.
When that movie came out, Leonidas was a heavy nickname for your boy.
Oh, really?
People called me
Oh,
Leonidas
yeah.
a lot.
Did you know there's a deleted scene where the emperor he's trying to sell you a cell phone at the mall?
Xerxes?
he goes, "You could have this case." And
Yeah.
it's like a sparkly.
A deleted scene where after the battle,
Yeah.
he's just like cleaning all of their shoes and they look brand new all over again.
He's waiting for you
He's
to
like,
walk
"Come
by
on,
so he
bruh."
can spray you with perfume at the
Yeah,
mall.
dude.
I'm like, stop.
The motherfucking mall kiosk guys.
So neither of you guys have that. I feel like that's the thing. You get to a certain age and just like weed and shrooms, you just get. I'm just two in my head. I take either and I go, this isn't fun.
Hasn't hit me yet.
God, I'm jealous.
No.
Shrooms are so fun for a while.
I've taken a pretty big step back from weed as far as like how much I smoke in a day, and I still smoke a lot.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
down to like 5 blunts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but I used to be way worse. I mean, I used to just, we would wake up, toke a couple times, hit dabs, smoke blunts, go to work, fucking hit dab pins all throughout the day, get home, smoke fucking 10 blunts, and then go to bed. Like, we were just like,
High all day.
Damn. What's
All
what's
day,
like
every
if you
day.
broke it down to like a day? That's got to be like.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
I'm talking
what,
like
a half ounce?
$100 a day.
probably about a little over a quarter a day we would go through.
Damn, dude.
But, I mean, you got to think, I'm living with I mean, it was 4 of us in a house. We're buying, surplus and just divvying it up.
Yeah.
And then when it's all done, it's like people say, "Hey, I need some. Do you need some?" Like, well, I could use some. I'm running low, and then we just fucking do it again.
Yeah.
Too much. Too much.
Mucho.
What are you down to now?
I probably go through, I don't know, a little under an ounce a week.
That still seems crazy to me.
It's a lot of weed.
Yeah.
You're also very generous with it, because my cut
Yeah.
down has come from, I just don't really have it on me
Yeah.
very often. Like I don't have it at the house, and if I do, I'll buy a quarter, and that can last me a long time.
Yeah.
Because I'll just pack a bowl, hit it thrice,
Yeah.
I'm
In
high.
comedy, it's like,
but then if I show up to any
yeah.
show in any city, pretty much, I could either buy some or get some or just hop in a circle and be ahead on a joint or whatever, and
Yeah.
then that's about all I need.
Nothing feels more legal than weed when you're doing comedy.
Yeah.
Where you're like, there sometimes there's not water here, but there is
Yeah,
weed.
Right, yes, no doubt.
Dude, when I first started coming to the mics, I would bring, obviously, I'd bring a half with me, but
Obviously.
I would
Yeah, of
roll.
course.
Yeah,
Of course.
if you don't have a half on you,
Yeah, what are you gonna?
What are you doing?
How you can do 4
Ounce of
minutes?
weed.
How you can do 4 minutes unless you have a half ounce of
in
weed?
So long.
To be fair, you should see him bake, dude. The sizes are always like off.
Oh,
You know
I
what I mean?
believe it,
He's a
yeah.
big.
I'm a what?
You're a portions guy.
Oh, when I bake.
Yeah. I don't know, about 71 ounces of sugar in this. We're making a cookie, right? I'm making a single cookie.
One
I put
cookie?
71 ounces
Yeah.
of sugar in my coffee.
4 pounds of flour, a stick of butter, and a guy's leg.
Alan Thickeman.
Yeah.
But I would bring these big cigar-looking joints, and I'd have like, I don't know, 4 or 5 of them, and they'd have a lot, like 2 grams each,
Yeah.
and we would just burn those in
I've-
circles.
I've been golfing with this a couple dudes who smoke spliffs,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I smoked in college. I fucking love a spliff.
Oh, dude, I can't.
I love a spliff. You don't get as high. You get a little bit of that nicotine too. I really like a spliff. You can smoke the whole thing and not
Yeah.
do what you were talking about and be like, I'm fucking
Oh,
scared.
Not me, dude.
Yeah.
I'll still fine. Actually, if I don't think about it, I'll be fine. But
We've
it's
gotten
that.
stoned a
You ever
couple
smoked a
times.
spliff?
Yeah. Probably. Dude, that's the other thing about weed. I just have I pay no attention. People are like, oh, it's this. And I go, I was probably 30 before I was like, blunts are bigger than joints. Like, I just don't care. I'm never the guy buying it. I'm never the guy rolling it.
Depends on who's rolling.
I'm never.
Yeah, amen to that.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
people get into like the weeds of like, you got to put a whatever, fucking put a filter on. I'm like, dude, whatever. Just, I'll eat it if it's easiest. Let's just get whatever. Let's do the social thing. I like you. That's how I treat weed now. I go, I like you, so let's smoke weed together. I actually don't care about the weed.
Yeah,
but
right.
I don't want to be the guy who goes, no.
It's who you're around though.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've eaten some edibles before.
Yeah, you lived at my
Yeah,
house
right,
for a few weeks,
exactly,
so
yeah.
we've done a bunch of
Yeah,
shit.
for
But
sure.
like just out in public, I don't know. I think I'm also just not resting. If I'm just out, if I'm in an Uber, totally sober, also not that comfortable.
You're right.
Do you know what I mean? So being high,
Yeah, your natural state is generally kind of uncomfortable.
out in the world for
Yes,
sure, because
yeah.
I'm always being like, well, that could be. This guy could 100. They don't check who drives for Uber.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, for sure.
Which, by the way, like my old roommate, Chance used to work for Uber. Dude, the funniest complaint we ever got. He would just tell me the complaints as he didn't resolve them.
Yes.
And this one guy sent in a complaint for Uber. It just says, "This motherfucker driving the wrong way on the highway."
Oh my God.
So it's just a guy in the back of a car about to die, going into the app, being like, report complaint.
Man, when I first started comedy and I moved up to Cincinnati, that was my sole income. I was
Yeah.
like a 50-hour a week Uber driver,
Jesus.
and I would just drive and drive and drive and drive. And I cannot believe that there haven't been more Uber horror stories,
Oh yeah.
like Uber nightmares. How has there not been a guy who's like? How has there not been like 50 guys who have just gone on like a killing spree?
I
in
think there
Uber?
have.
There have been, but like a handful.
Yeah, but I'm saying I also think like it's one of the stories where you hear it and you go, well, I'm still gonna take Uber.
Still kind of have to.
Yeah, you go, eh.
I got there's a local Uber driver. Who
Do we all know him?
maybe Marcus quit playing Jones. He's the king, dude. He rules. He's awesome. Love Marcus. Marcus quit playing Jones.
What do you love about him?
That he don't play. He quit playing.
Yeah.
When he was Marcus playing Jones,
Couldn't fuck with him.
yeah, I couldn't fuck with that. But when he quit playing, I was cool.
Oh,
with it.
dude, he used to play around so much, and you'd be
Yeah.
like, you got to quit.
But he goes live and like does his set.
Yeah.
In Uber?
with the people in the Uber.
Yeah.
Send him to jail.
Yeah. No.
Lock
Don't send
him
him to jail.
up.
Send him to death row prison.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Bury him under the prison.
What's that? You know what? A lot of stuff's being decided politically right now. We should decide on some limitations for when you can go live. All right? There's got to be some rules.
Yeah, no doubt.
You can't. Here's the times I would do it. Never. But
Yeah, I've never
I'll
done it.
make, I'll
I
make
think
some
you should
exceptions.
go live when you're. I think you should be allowed to go live when you're grocery shopping, and there's a lot of people around.
Absolutely
You
not.
should be allowed to go live if you're eating at a restaurant by yourself, and there's a bunch of people around.
Dude, I'm on
You
this.
should be able to go live at your child's graduation.
Yes.
That's a good one.
yeah, that is a
that's
good one
good.
because people give a shit.
Oh yeah, people
Yeah.
online totally.
People want to see that.
For sure they do.
Yeah.
My favorite is
course they
online
do.
when I see the people who go live when they're like running from the cops. Have you ever seen those videos?
Yeah.
People are like live. They're running from the police, and they're like, man. They're like, look at the cops, like, man, shut the fuck up with your bitch ass. And you're just driving for like they're bantering with comments while they're about to face 15 years.
Yeah.
in jail.
Replying
sure.
to comments as you're being arrested is it's the next level.
Just got to get that followership up, dog.
Yeah, that's what you need in prison.
You got to set yourself up before you go in there, so you come out with something.
Yeah. Well,
You
there
come
are
out
dudes
with
in
something?
prison now that are going live on TikTok.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
prison talk and prison Instagram
Prison
and stuff.
talk.
Yeah,
Hey.
it's a real thing.
Oh man.
Prison YouTube was a big thing for me for a while. There's a lot of
Like
there's
how
a-
long?
Oh, dude, like 2015 to 2018. There's this guy named K Frog TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's this white guy. and he
Yeah.
would, like tell a bunch of prison stories and then post videos of like
From the prison.
of the stories. It's like this guy's making a documentary.
Yeah,
While he's locked
in
up
prison.
for 8 years.
No.
It's pretty sick.
That's crazy. So they have to, I guess, I mean, prisoners have phones. They must, right?
Yeah, I think in
How the
some
fuck does
places
that
they're
work?
allowed to, but mostly it's contraband.
They have a contraband Verizon plan?
Yeah, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I never understood how they get like I guess service is service. But it's like I don't know, man. Those walls seem pretty thick.
Yeah. If
When
you
I
look
was
at
in
Yeah,
prison-
school,
I know
they
what you
used to
mean.
block our phones. Like when I would go to school, you couldn't get on anything on your. You could only get on the school website on your.
Yeah,
phone. That's
they
all you
did
could do.
that.
They
That's
blocked
crazy.
everything. How the
I
fuck
guess
do
I
these jails
wasn't
have
in
that?
school with smartphones.
Yeah, there is a generational gap. When we
Like
talked
my
to Kyler,
senior
we just
year,
go,
my
"What?"
senior year of high school, I had a Motorola Razr.
Yeah.
That was my first phone.
Yeah, dude.
Do you remember when you'd get you'd get a photo and it would pixelate in?
Oh yeah.
So you would be waiting on like a nipple to appear
Yeah,
for
yeah.
a long time.
Boop, 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 boop,
Oh,
boop.
nipple.
Yeah, dude. There
That's
it
one
is.
thing I still don't get, and I don't think I'll ever
Nipples?
comprehend. No, I love those.
Yeah.
How the fuck do pictures work? You know,
Well, hey, I know it sounds dumb,
Yeah.
but no one knows
Hey,
how a picture
let's go through a
works.
list of things that people think you should understand that I don't. You say pictures. I'm gonna say I don't planes. People keep explaining it to me. They go,
Oh,
it's about
dude,
the lift.
I'm
I
on
go,
a
I don't really.
crazy little plane conspiracy, dude.
You don't think it's what you think they're keeping something from us?
For sure. For sure.
He just goes, yeah, you nailed it.
Jets, private jets. They're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, private jet. This thing's got a 36,000 gallon tank for fuel on it.
Yeah.
And then you look at what a 36,000 gallon tank looks like, and it's 10 times bigger than the jet.
Well, that's like, dude, I've been into like shows about polar explorers,
Yeah.
and they'll be like, yeah, we brought enough food for 5 years.
Yeah. It's like, what
And
do
you're
you
like, how many people are here? And they're like, 200. And you go, is this ship exponentially bigger?
mean? Yeah.
than
What
I'm
are we talking
thinking?
about? Yeah.
Somehow they make it work. I don't know how, but they did it, so
they
it
have
has to
those,
be.
those vacuum seal bags. Too much,
Oh.
not enough space. They just put everything in one of those and suck the air out of it, and then it turns into like a little matchbox, and they stack those up.
But also in that thing that you just cited, Connor, they were just like, we have enough food for 5 years, and your food was like, everyone gets one hardened biscuit a day.
Dude, sometimes like I'm deep down the polar exploration rabbit hole. First of all, it was the craziest thing
Oh,
ever.
Nuts.
It's guys. There's literally guys being like, I couldn't fight Napoleon. Like I'm, born too late for
Yeah.
that. But I still want glory, so I'm gonna go discover the Northwest Passage.
I know.
And like, dude, they would bring. It's shocking the amount of shit they would bring. They would bring fuel, like
Horses
coal.
on
They'd bring
boats?
horses, 50 horses. They'd
On
bring.
boats.
Dude, these guys tried to bring reindeer they were like, maybe this reindeer will love it here, and the reindeer were like, we don't love it here.
No,
This is
we
ice.
don't.
And they all died. They brought a ton of shit. That's like the most fascinating part of all this.
You talking about like Richard Byrd kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Who's Richard
What,
Byrd?
Alfred Bird?
Admiral Richard Byrd.
Yeah, yeah.
Dick Bird?
Oh, Dick Byrd.
The old Dick Bird?
Yeah, he's
Admiral
like a guy
Richard
who went
Byrd.
and explored Antarctica.
Yeah, for sure. Saw
I don't know. I know.
Saw
Started
all
a-
sorts of weird shit.
Yeah, he started a Masonic lodge, the only Masonic lodge in Antarctica. It's lodge number 777.
All right, well, this
Lodge of the
dude,
Penguin.
he's not a top tier Arctic explorer. I'll tell you that. Within Arctic, I'm on Arctic Reddit, and no one's talking about Bird.
Well,
His name does not ring out on
BYRD,
Arctic.
brother. You better check him out.
Yeah.
Admiral Richard Byrd.
Richard Bird. This will be the thing where I go home and look it up and go, God damn it, Kyler is getting this guy famous, and he's famous. He's
No,
gonna
this is
get famous.
no. I mean, this is like 1930s.
Oh, dude, they already discovered all that shit.
Well, yeah, fucking, he went back. I didn't say he discovered it. He just fucking.
He goes there
No,
in
Bird is
1988.
the guy. It's like very
Bird is a
conspiratorial. Bird is the guy who like went and claimed to have seen like different lands kind of beyond the ice wall.
Yeah.
He wrote it in a journal, and he went for the government. He was in the Navy.
Yeah.
And he wrote all the stuff he found, and they were like, "All right, give us that."
Nope.
Dude, in like up until like 1830, because like England's like leading the chart. Like they're
Gross.
paying for all this stuff. They thought if you get through the polar ice, there will be like a big warm country up there.
Yeah.
And there's all this stuff in like the polar sea. You can just sail across the top of the world. It's wild.
I know.
It's kind of sick.
Do you think
Very
that
sick.
that is a possibility?
No,
You don't think that? You think that Antarctica? Okay.
I believe in Antarctica. I'll
do you-
say it.
But do you think that? So do you
I'll,
believe?
I'll go there.
Do you believe that there? I think that there are like land masses that we just aren't allowed to know about or see, that are just like used for government and like royalty. And,
But I don't understand. I get okay. I think the government and royalty do shady shit. I think that's the least bang for your buck way to do it. Do you know what I mean? Where I go like they can just have Area 51. Like they don't need to not tell you about a thing. There's already stuff where they just go you can't go there. So I don't know why they gotta like hope no one sails there. You know what I mean? I mean there might be, but I just don't see
no
the
one's doing
upside.
that anymore. No one's fucking just. Not a lot of people.
There's no explorers anymore
Yeah.
because everybody's been, whether it's true or whether they've just been led to believe that there's nothing else to explore, nowhere else to go.
Yeah, but there's so many ships moving. Why wouldn't a ship? Do you know what I mean? There's like millions of
Yeah,
ships
because
every
they're on
day.
a time crunch. You know, like a trucker wants to stop at a cool restaurant, but he's got to get his shit dropped off. You know?
Yeah.
These people aren't just in a ship. It's not just their ship.
But I'm just saying,
And they
what's
get to do what they
the
want.
upside? Like, because they can just tell you can't go a place and you can't go. Like, there's already tons of places like that where you go like, I'd like to go there, and they go, no. So I don't know why they need to hide it from us.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's my instinct with conspiracy theories is always not like they wouldn't do that because they're good people. It's just like, would this pay off? It's so much work to keep you an island from a person.
What's your favorite conspiracy theory? Like, what's a conspiracy theory that you're like, oh yeah, that's probably the case? Like, because I know you're.
Yeah. Well, dude, to me, like, is it a conspiracy to be like, every decision is made because of people's like selfish incentives?
That's by definition a conspiracy.
Yeah, but I'm saying like that. We all just go like, yeah, of course, Apple and Amazon are distorting the world because they want to make more money. Like that's a global conspiracy, but
Yeah.
no one's like, it's not cool. Like no one's
Right.
like, hell yeah, that thing's got wings or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm big on the conspiracies that are like obvious, but the ones where there's no clear incentive are where I'm like, well, what would be the point of that?
Yeah.
Like Flat Earth, I go, what would be the point of not telling me? Like, why wouldn't you want me to? What would it hurt if I knew it was? He's like, there's something.
Well, I think that with that whole thing, I think a lot of people are really concerned with like space
Yeah.
and like with the way that we're taught how things are, it makes us much smaller. And I think that we as humans have much more potential and greatness about us that's been just kind of like, no, we're totally small in the grand aspect of everything. It's like I think that we're way more important. And when we're told all these things are much bigger and greater than our understanding, it just diminishes like the life that we have. Like we are sentient beings.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of that.
I'll go with you on that they downplay how much you could understand. They go,
Yeah.
it's too complicated. And you go,
No,
What?
I think I
I
could
mean, if-
grasp it.
well, if morons who work in the government, who are like the dumbest people,
Yeah.
like that's who works in the government, like if you can figure it out,
Yeah.
why can't I figure it
Yeah,
out?
I know.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
I used to
What's your craziest conspiracy that you kind of believe?
kind of believe.
How much time do we got? We're gonna run out of time.
Yeah.
He's got 50,000.
My favorite one, it does have to do with Admiral Richard Byrd.
He goes, it all comes back.
It
around.
does, because I think this is so silly.
Yeah.
But God, if it's true, it's awesome. But that he was sent to Antarctica to harvest penguin pineal glands
Mm-hmm.
to feed them to the elite, because penguins have the purest pineal glands because they haven't been
I'll say,
tainted
yeah.
by humans. So they eat them to decalcify their own pineal glands and make them like more in touch with God.
Sure.
It's like,
Oh, well, the elites
He
aren't
goes,
looking
"Sure,
for God,
sure."
brother.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
but
They're looking for the down low God.
they're looking for
Yeah.
they're looking for the DLG.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
I'm trying to think though if that matches up. Like
It's so stupid, but it's like my favorite thing about conspiracy theories, and I don't
They are
believe
fun.
a lot, but I love the people who were like I saw one earlier. Black Ops 6 just came out. You guys,
yeah, I believe
Black
that.
Ops, okay.
No, I believe that.
So Black Ops
Oh,
6
the
just
video
came out,
game?
the video game, and this guy's
I
like,
believe that one.
well, if you look, Black Ops 6 came out November 12th, and that's 56 days before this. And if you flip that upside down, then that's 65, and that's 11, and it's like, hey, man, you're schizophrenic.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
Numerology can get a little squirrely.
That's homeless guy math.
I don't know if you're.
Yeah. When you start doing if you flip a number upside down and then move it to the left, hey, guess what? You're a homeless guy at a gas station. That's
my favorite.
You tell me, you go, if you do 3 extra steps, you could make this make sense. And I go,
Well,
oh.
yeah. If your aunt had balls, she'd be your uncle.
Yeah, exactly. You go, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My conspiracy brain is really, and it's like most people's too. I don't really hold anything. I'm so agnostic on everything since COVID
Yeah.
because,
What's this?
well, once that happened,
I
like,
missed it.
once we just found out that explicitly, because everyone, like you were saying, everyone's always kind of known
Yeah.
they're going to do their thing, and it's kind of what governments do. But after COVID, when they just fully lied,
In real time with
Gaslit.
fully lied,
with
every
videos that you
fucking
could rewind and
politician,
go.
every media outlet fully lied, ruined the country. Suicides went up 500%.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, well, shit. What is true?
Yeah.
You know, it just kind of made you question everything. And then, like, in 2021, I would have looked you right in the eye and been like, yeah, Earth's probably flat.
Yeah.
And now I'm a little less, a little less sure of that, but I'm just sure of nothing anymore.
Yeah. Well, it's the boy who cried wolf.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
like, what did you guys do? That was
What
so
do you
silly.
mean?
Yeah.
All you've done is
No, I'm
lie
with you
to
on that.
us.
But it's also, it's like, do you ever meet, you grew up with a kid and then they work in I know a guy who's trying to be a senator. And I was like, dude, you're one of the dumbest guys I've ever met in my life.
perfect
And
senator.
but so it just makes you be like, oh yeah, of course that guy would lie.
Yeah.
If somebody he thought was smart pulled him aside and goes, say that shit, and he goes, I'm gonna look crazy. He goes, just say it.
Just say it.
Also, what's crazy about conspiracies is the second they get proved, they get removed from the pool of conspiracy, and then you go, look at all these conspiracies, none of them are true, and you go, you keep taking the true ones out
100%.
and just making them
all
facts.
a conspiracy is a story that has not been picked up by the mainstream media yet.
Or conspiracy is just people doing stuff as a group.
Yeah.
And you go, well, that's the story of history.
Billionaire pedophile fuck island 10 years ago was a conspiracy, and
That was the
now
name of my-
it's a
that was the name of my
Netflix
other podcast.
special.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I feel you on the during COVID, being like, oh, this is all. They can just say what the fuck they want to say. So God only knows what we've been taught, what is true, what is not. You know.
Made you look at everything through a different
Oh
light.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And
Also, you read a book by any other country about.
I don't read books.
So that's what I'm saying. If you read any other version of history, you go, that's not what they said.
Yeah,
Do you know
that
what I
doesn't
mean?
sound familiar.
It just makes you be like, yeah, it's kind of just stop screaming at me as if you're right is sort of
Yes.
my default position. I go, I'll hear you out. You can, I'll listen to Senor Bird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I bet penguin pineals are hot or whatever, but don't tell me it's crazy that I do or don't believe a thing. That's kind of
Yeah,
where
but
I'm at.
I would say that it is. I hear that, but I would say that attitude is 85% coming the other way. Whereas
Oh, yeah.
if you question something and the other person who is not into conspiracies or whatever, that's what's annoying to me, and that's what kind of gets me going in the
Other
to
way.
be like, fuck you.
Yeah.
And they're just like, no, I actually happen to know that that's not true. And it's like, you don't know anything.
Yeah, that is the most
know?
annoying part where you go, what? Why are you? But it's hard to be unsettled on every
Yeah, for sure.
issue ever.
There are people who still believe that the 9/11 attacks were
What they said they were.
just terrorist guys hop in an airplane and they're like, okay, we're gonna,
Crawled out of a cave.
we're
and
gonna
then
drive
went-
this
yeah.
into the damn.
I kind of believe that. I haven't seen any compelling evidence that it's. I'm not saying that we got an accurate accounting of everything, but I don't think it was not. Arab guys who believed in Islam.
I think. Well, yeah. I mean, whoever. I'm just talking like the way those buildings fell.
Sure.
I've seen plenty of controlled demolitions.
Yeah.
The way those buildings fall, when you fucking plant explosives in a building
Yeah.
and you take out all the structure.
But
that's
this
what
goes
happened.
back to the same issue I had with the one. It's like, what is the upside of that? If the people go, we get to go to war in the Middle East. I go,
Mass hysteria.
but we already went to war in the Middle East like 10 years before that. We can go to war in the Middle East anytime. It's not that hard to get American people on board with going to war.
What's the upside?
Like, what's the incentive? Why don't they just go, hey, this Saddam guy is I don't know how much you know about Saddam's kids. They were like feeding people to tigers.
Yeah,
it's like
fully.
it's like a slam dunk.
Uday.
Yeah, Uday was I'll say it. He's a jerk.
Yeah, he's a real butthead.
I'll say this.
I'll say it, but like people go like, oh, they did whatever. They did 9/11 so we could go to war in the Middle East to get oil, which is like, by the way, we didn't that's not how oil works. Whatever, we're already getting oil, but like we already could have gone. We did Desert Storm like 10 years before that. We could just be like, yeah, we got to overthrow Saddam.
But
we
if
didn't have to blow shit up.
So here's the counter to that. Yeah, we could have just gone and overthrown Saddam, but without some weird nefarious thing on the side of 9/11, then they don't get the power on the domestic side. They because 9/11, we're still dealing with 9/11.
Oh, dude,
you got to
the
take your fucking
Patriot
shoes
Act
off to
is-
get onto the goddamn plane.
Yeah.
And the Patriot
The
Act
Patriot
has
Act
made
is
all of
crazy.
our phones spy devices.
Yeah,
So I mean,
That's the upside.
that's
that's
the
a more
upside.
compelling case.
That's why.
but I just think you'd
They
have
didn't
to.
need to do 9/11 to justify going over to the desert and starting a senseless war because we do that anyway.
Yeah,
They needed whoever they is again, whatever 9/11 just to grab more power over here over us.
yeah. I don't
Because
know though.
That's
I
the
still
only way it would happen because people are scared. It's what happened 9/11
I just
happened during
think-
COVID. People are scared. They are more likely to listen to authority.
But
And
to
that's
me,
a-
it's like it's such a jump. Like where I go, like they could have blown up an Arby's with 7 guys in it and left a flag from Iraq, and we'd be like, Toby Keith still would have wrote that song. Like, dude, I think it's like, dude, that seems like they did that. I really think they were the ones who did 9/11. We might have been like, hey man, we have intelligence that we're not following up because if this does happen, it's not like we'll use it to our advantage. Like every politician uses everything, but I don't think it was like Americans being like, all right, I know this is gonna sound crazy,
I think that
but
once
what if?
I think that once you get past a certain level and class of wealth, right, where your wealth,
Thank you.
Where it's like you're dealing with Chinese money, Middle Eastern money, American money. You're dealing with big boy bucks.
For
Yeah,
sure.
I think that you.
calling it big boy bucks.
Big boy money.
I think that you're looking at stuff through a different lens, and it's like, okay, what can we do to get more control over people,
Yeah.
and scare the shit out of these people, and justify what we're about to do to make more money?
No, I'm not saying
Like,
they
it's
don't
like
do
an
that. I'm just saying
investment. Also,
it's
the-
like a wacky way to do it.
Oh, I don't disagree. It's a very
Yeah.
wacky way to do it, but it's like when you look at the plane hitting the tower, the way it falls. There is some really coincidental numerology that goes in with 9/11.
See, now I'm out though. The
There is,
numerology
but
shit,
also
I think is
okay.
crazy.
So another thing, the guy who owned the buildings didn't have insurance.
Mr. World
coverage.
Trade Center.
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah.
W. He didn't have insurance for terrorist attacks because it wasn't a thing.
Who did?
But the 2 weeks or a week before,
Yeah.
he changed his policy to where they covered that, so that he could get paid out in insurance money when that happened.
and
But-
then
but-
didn't come
what-
to work on 9/11, and he hadn't missed a day of work in
Yeah,
15
All right,
years.
but
And
we would
that's
have to look
weird.
into this because I will bet almost anything. It's not a guy who owns the World Trade Center.
It
It's
is
not
a
like
guy.
a guy.
Yeah, it was a yeah.
It's not like a multinational company. It's one dude.
It was a
He
guy
doesn't
who
have an
owns a
LLC.
company, Yeah, It was
But
that-
that's what I'm saying. Where
that
it's
guy.
like nobody owns Bridgestone Arena.
Well, Bridgestone owns Bridgestone.
But that's what I'm
Arena.
saying. Bridgestone is like not a guy.
a conglomerate.
But one
Yeah.
guy
Owned the World Trade
is
Center.
the big dog of Bridgestone. Like there's always one guy.
No, dude. Look at like Starbucks. Starbucks is not. I mean, they have a CEO, but they also have like a board of investors. They got like 50 million people. Nobody can just be like, we're closing tomorrow.
Larry Silverstein is the owner of the World Trade Centers, or was the owner of the World Trade Centers.
True
Larry
story.
Silverstein.
Tough name. Tough name.
Yeah.
Tough name.
Name.
Tough name, brother.
Yeah, dude, I've been.
All right,
doing
well,
this.
listen, I'll research this. I think we should do an ongoing. Kyler pitches me a crazy conspiracy.
Then you research it.
I
and we
come back next week and
That's
I
good.
go, "Hey, man, pineal glands and penguins are in their ass."
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Hey, yeah, I was gonna say, start with Richard Byrd, bro.
Yeah.
I'll send you all the.
All right, but here, this is the flip side.
Okay.
I think we should run through. Kyler, people might not know this. Kyler does not, and I'm not talking about the conspiracies. Kyler doesn't know literally anything. I mean, Kyler didn't know who the band The Eagles was. It's an almost impossible thing to
not
do,
know.
to live on this planet and not know. So I think each week we should.
Not if
we
you're
should.
like 23.
No, still, if you're 23,
I just
Yeah.
discovered a band called The War on Drugs.
that's one guy, and he's great.
It's one guy named The War on
It
Drugs.
is. He-
What a
listen,
stupid fucking name for one guy.
Don't like it
I'm not
anymore.
saying.
Yep, I'm out.
I'm not saying I don't agree with you. It is annoying when you go, "Hey, listen, if you're a guy, your name needs to be a guy."
Yeah, just fucking Michael. What's
Well,
his
you
name?
found the Eagles because of your dad.
No, we were watching a documentary at my house about the Eagles that I've seen like 10 times. Are you
Yeah.
saying how did I find
Yeah.
them? I found them because by the time you're 2, you've been in like 10 malls where they're playing 15 of their most famous songs.
Yeah, and then you go, what? Who is this? The Eagles?
I go, who is this? And anybody goes, dude, how old were you when you found out about the Eagles? 24?
24.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
We were
That's a
watching
crazy-
They are
documentary.
like arguably the greatest American band.
Well,
Dude, their
and-
greatest
and
hits is the best-selling record like ever, or was for a long time.
There were some songs when I like started listening to them, like, oh, I know that song.
Sure.
Yeah.
I just didn't know who the fuck those guys were, and I
Yeah.
couldn't give a shit less. It's just an alright song.
But I want to know what else you don't know. That's what I'm
I
saying.
don't know what I don't know.
All right, you want to think of
Yeah, I'm
something
trying to
that
think
everyone
of like a
should
good.
know?
What do you know about?
I would say ketchup if he was built different, but I think he knows.
Yeah,
But
that
that, it
motherfucker
could
knows
it
about
could be
ketchup.
that level
Love
of
ketchup.
like,
Yeah,
doesn't
I love
know.
ketchup too.
yeah.
Do you know
The
what
Muffin Man.
country Toyotas are made in?
Yeah.
What is
Japan.
it? Okay,
All
there
right,
you go. That's a
okay,
good one. That's
okay.
that's like a decent kind
That's
of
something.
question that we're going with.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
my
I like it.
lack of knowledge usually comes from pop culture shit.
Yeah,
It's
which
also
is
older shit. That's what I'm starting to realize.
Well, it's just shit that I don't think matters.
Yeah,
You know, like I could tell you a lot about different brands for some weird reason. I'm obsessed with that.
yeah.
But like you asked me, you know, you talk about fucking. Like I just recently learned about Pantera. It's a band.
Yeah,
It's like fucking. It's like all
he
right,
goes,
they're cool.
"That's a band."
They're cool guys. Yeah, if you didn't
Yeah.
know Pantera.
Do you know how they ended? How the band broke up?
I know
dude,
they broke
crazy story.
Oh my God! You don't know how Pantera breaks up?
Dimebag Daryl,
Yeah. Talk
They're-
about a rough show.
they're like lead guitarist, frontman type thing. You tell him, Connor.
So they're doing a show somewhere in like Texas, and it's not like Bridgestone Arena. It's like just like a
Rock club.
yeah, like a rock club. And I don't know why. I remember watching Behind the Music, but I don't know why. Some guy's upset about something, and he comes on stage and shoots the guitarist
in the
to death.
during the show, walks
Yeah.
up on
He
stage,
dies?
shoots him.
Yeah,
in
he
the head.
dies.
Shoots him in the head.
Yeah,
Killed him.
Jesus.
yeah. And then they
Dimebag
were
Daryl.
like, "No encore." Like it's crazy. The show's just over.
Yeah, there was a murder in front of. Like,
Yeah, but
1,000
I'm just
people.
saying, as a performer, I probably would have finished. But I respect their right to not.
Well, dude, it was
It's like, fuck, what do you do in that? Holy
February
shit.
of 2021. I came down here to Nashville with Ran,
And shot a
played the
guy.
comedy bar.
Oh,
Shout out
God.
Rand Barnacle.
Yeah.
Shout out Randy B. And played the comedy bar, and we walked in for the Saturday show to all this hustle and bustle going on. I heard the bartenders going like, "Should we call the cops?" And I hear all
Because
this.
this pizza's delicious.
And I hear all this commotion come from the bathroom. So I hear the commotion, hear the "should we call the cops?" I think it's a fight. So I go around the corner to be like, maybe I can try to help or something, break it up. And it's just a dead person on the ground in the bathroom. A woman died, choked on a piece of fucking Nashville, Tennessee deep dish pizza,
Be like that sometimes.
and died. And we were all sitting around. It
Kyler
was like
said that's how I want to
me.
go out.
It was me and Ran and Sativa and Josh Black. We were just kind of sitting around,
Yeah.
just being like,
And they arrested
"Are we
Sativa
gonna
and
do?
Josh Black
Yeah,
immediately.
Are we gonna- are we gonna do the show?" And then we didn't.
Yeah, nor should you. That's if a lady dies, it kills the room.
There was a dead woman in the room.
Yeah, and her friends were still there, from what I remember, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
and they were
pizza's
like,
pretty good.
Yeah, fucking not worth dying for.
yeah. Also, imagine that's how like crazy some bookers are. Where I remember like there was because you guys came over to I remember seeing you right
We
after.
came to Zadie's
Yeah.
afterwards.
And there was like they were like, yeah, the booker still kind of wanted to. The comedy bar booker was still kind of like, you guys are all here. Like they still kind of wanted
Everyone's
to do
still
the show.
here, guys.
Guys, we'd have to
There's
give back.
27 not dead people.
We'd
out
have to
there.
give back $130. What are we gonna? still not pay you that much?
Yeah,
Like,
right. God, to their credit, they did pay us for both shows.
that is nice. That's good. That's about as much credit as I would give them.
Yeah, same. That might have been the worst club in the United States. It was so fucking horrible.
Up there, dude.
It still is.
Up there. Yeah, it is.
Still is.
Yeah, I might have been on stage there recently saying that it was a tax scam.
Really?
I was like, the only way this makes sense to run the club this poorly
is if
to
this
like,
is a money laundering scheme.
yeah, if there's a guy trying to launder money, this makes sense.
Yeah.
I still kind of believe that.
Wholeheartedly.
Wait till you get out there on the road and you start running into clubs where you go, yeah, this doesn't make any sense as a business.
Dude,
There's no way.
I can't remember if it's Greensboro or Greensville. I think it's Greensboro.
Yeah.
The Comedy Zone
There's one in both.
is a sex trafficking operation.
Hey,
Dude, you watch, bro? You go
allegedly.
in there. It allegedly.
I'll still-
sure,
I'll still
allegedly. But
work
you walk in there. It is so obviously an old restaurant that they just turned into a comedy club. There's
Yeah.
like a water feature in the room, so you're up there bombing, and then you just hear like a babbling brook.
But what makes this a sex trafficking?
Everyone who works there, besides the manager / cook / MC /
Oh yeah, the
store
guy who runs it all. I know the club you're talking about.
That guy.
Yeah.
Every other employee is just a tiny little mousy Asian woman who can't speak English. And it's like why are they there? Why are they all in Greensboro, North Carolina?
Well, but not to be racist. Tiny Asian women love comedy. That's a thing. If you look
Is
it up,
that a
they
thing?
love comedy.
No, man, I didn't
They
see
love-
one smile from them the
Yeah.
entire week.
Were
And
they
at the end
rapping?
of it, I went up and gave one of them no raps. And I went and gave him a $20 bill, and I thought this woman was going to start sobbing, crying.
Yeah.
I bet you she makes $2 an hour. They didn't speak English.
That's also
And
I will
worked
say
there.
let's assume so this episode isn't so sad they're not getting sex trafficked. That's a tough gig to do if you don't speak English.
Yeah.
You just walk up and look at tables.
You just hear gibberish from the stage all night.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing. but-
Yeah, man. People. Yeah. No
I
one's
did
laughing.
a club in Myrtle Beach. I should stop saying it like there's tons of clubs in Myrtle Beach. People will be able to figure that out. I did the club in Myrtle Beach, and this guy, I meet him backstage, and he's whatever, like, just regular weird road host. He's like, hey, what's up? He goes out on stage, and, I mean, there might be 4 people in the audience. It's like a hell gig. And he goes out on stage, and I swear, I'm not kidding at all. He starts going, hello, welcome to... He's doing Borat voice for the whole show. He's bombing so hard doing Borat. Where are you from? Like, insane. And then he gets off stage, and straight face looks at me, and he goes, tough crowd.
Tough
Back to his
crowd,
regular
man.
voice. And I go,
Yeah, dude. I don't know where I lost him out there, brother.
and in between acts, there's what, 4 seconds to talk?
Yeah.
I go, do you do that every show? He goes, oh yeah, I do that every show.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, I literally like was late getting on stage because I was like, hold on, I feel like I'm gonna come back and you're gonna like no one else even have seen you. Like you're a figure of my imagination.
You're not an aberration, right? You're a real guy.
And then, dude, I just remember being on stage and I remember the guy I was working with. He tried to do some crowd work and it's literally 4 people and the doors open and it's December in South Carolina and he goes, why you got your arms crossed? Like trying to like lighten the crowd up. And this lady goes, it's cold in here. Like just a truly hell gig.
Hellish gigs.
Yeah. And then I remember being like, can I get the booker's email so that I can
I would
see
love
if
to
she
come
wa-
back here to lose money again.
Yeah. Hey, can I drive by the helicopter rides that are $40 in this beautiful city in the
Yeah.
winter so that I can lose money and so can you? Like just a night when you're new, it's so bad, dude.
I know, man. It's a wonder that anybody keeps doing comedy long enough to even have a career.
Yeah.
You
gotta be
truly
so
have to
stupid.
be broken as fuck.
And also just so dumb.
Dumb.
Like be like, isn't it gonna turn around fast?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then by the time you realize it's like it's like cave diving. where
Yes.
You're in so deep that you
And
go,
you're like, well, I'm done.
well, I'll just live here.
Dude, cave diving. Fuck that
Yeah.
noise, man. Fuck
Would you go
Spelunking.
cave diving?
No.
What? I couldn't fit probably.
Yeah.
There's some caves. The Mariana Trench.
Yeah.
That one's big, right?
I
Yeah.
just had deja vu, dude.
Just now?
Just now.
Did I do this?
Nope.
Was it Borat voice?
No, it was. I don't know why. I think maybe just been us talking about spelunking.
There
But
it
that's
is.
not. That's not something I'm
That is
I'd
not
go
my jam
kayaking
at
in a
all.
cave,
and
and I went exploring in a cave one
go
time.
kayaking in a cave.
Oh, there's in
I
Kentucky,
think
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
didn't
That's the
explain
Western
biggest
Kentucky.
underground lake system in a cave.
Diamond
You can
Caverns.
kayaking. It's
The
pretty sick.
biggest Mammoth Cave is the biggest cave system on planet Earth.
Well, it's called Mammoth. Duh.
Yeah,
Yeah, duh, no shit.
I had a
Wouldn't be-
mammoth girlfriend.
You
in
know
high
why
school.
it's called Mammoth Cave? You know why it's called Mammoth Cave? Is when they found it. He really tickled himself on that 5 out of 10 joke.
Hey, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. Big bitches love when it's summertime.
Yeah,
Thanks.
amen
You know
to
what I
that,
mean? They
dude.
love when summertime's over. Somebody said that. A comic. Fuck, what was her name? Mary Lee in stage in Chicago this week. She goes, she's a big girl. She goes, I'll tell you what, big bitches love when summertime's over. And I have been laughing
So funny.
2 weeks.
So why they call it Mammoth Cave?
Oh, they found mammoths in there. Mammoths, like bones, mammoth bodies and skeletons and shit down in the cave system. They
And
found
then,
them.
that's weird, right?
It's crazy weird.
Yeah.
You,
Yeah,
think, you know,
it's-
you
it's
think about
like-
mammoths, you think about Ice Age, you think about the Bering Sea land thing.
They went down in the caves. They
Yeah.
found.
There was
Tennessee
no
and
because
Kentucky?
what
Yeah.
happened? There was a boat of home health nurses and it sank. And then they found all these
Well, dude, over in India and stuff, elephants go into caves. It's a whole thing.
Dude, this is my favorite.
But mammoths aren't supposed to be in fucking Kentucky.
Well, they were back when.
Yeah, it
they
wasn't
were.
called Kentucky then.
Yeah,
It was called Mammoth Land or something.
It's just a little weird.
it feels a little fishy.
It's
This
just
is going to be
weird.
fun. Kyler's relationship with history is going to be a fun
thing
part of
to
this pod.
flower.
Him being like, they shouldn't be in Williamson County. And you're like, well, they didn't have,
Yeah.
they weren't in Williamson County.
It just it just doesn't make sense. Like one of my favorite little conspiracies is Kenyid Cave. You ever Kenyid Cave?
Don't know.
It's in Utah
Kinyat?
or where's the Grand Canyon?
Arizona?
I think it's like a couple states, but yeah.
All
Isn't it like right on that border? Whatever.
It's in one of those fucking deserts that I'll never go to because it's hot as shit. But there's this guy G.E. Kincaid, whatever, and he said that he found some like stone step looking structure, went up to it into a hole in the cave above the Grand Canyon, and there was like a bunch of like lotus flower carvings.
Oh
on the
yeah, they don't want
walls
us in the Grand Canyon,
and
dog.
like statues of like what they would describe
Egyptian.
as Buddha.
Yeah.
He's like, it was a weird like mesh of Egyptian and Japanese art and stuff. And he
That's by the way, that's exactly how a dumb guy would make something up.
Yeah.
You go, oh, there were swords and
well, there was he
some
said,
other
he
stuff.
said that it was just like this guy was a researcher, I think.
Yeah.
But he
He
wrote
studied
the
mainly
Smithsonian,
Japanese stuff.
and the Smithsonian paid for an excavation of it.
Yeah.
They dug everything out, they cleared it out, and then they're like, "Yep, that shit never happened."
Yeah, that's not real.
That's crazy.
That is
I'm
a
with you
really
on
good
that.
story.
and
That is a really good one.
And the only history you can really find about it is a couple of newspaper articles from the time when they were like, "What the fuck did we just find in the Grand Canyon?" And then
Yeah.
like 2 weeks later, they're like, "Hey, that was
Nothing.
that was a bunch
Dude.
of nothing."
You want to know a wild, not a conspiracy, just I guess like more like a prank. I was reading this thing. There was this newspaper guy in like the 1900s, and that was back when like owning a newspaper was like being Elon Musk, like he was badass. And this guy was like, we got to get our numbers up. So they just published a fake story about like chimpanzees killing people in Central Park. They were like, they ripped off heads and all, like they were, and like eating, and people like got guns and went. Think about it. You get the newspaper in the morning. It says there's killer chimps
And it is
in
just
Central Park.
the only thing that you trust.
Dude, people go down. They're patrolling Central Park with guns. Like the cops come out. Their little fire wagon, or like not a a rickshaw that's carried by that guy in Indiana Jones or whatever. And then the next morning, the story's like, we were just trying to show you guys that you got to stay alert. Like there's a whole day where people were like, where are these killer chimps? And there were no killer chimps.
Yeah.
And in like tiny print on like page 19 of a 20-page story, it says like, "This is fake." So he like couldn't get sued,
Yeah.
but he was like, "We're trying to get some buzz about the newspaper."
Yeah,
It's
right.
Like, this is crazy.
That's so wild. Well, the classic Orson Welles story.
Which
of,
the War of the Worlds?
The
thing?
World of Worlds.
Yeah.
The World of Worlds was like a book, and
It's like a radio
it's
program.
it's a radio program, and they were like telling this story about aliens are attacking the Earth, and and invading the planet, and everyone needs to like hide or get
But
their
they came
guns
on
or whatever.
they came on the radio like presenting it like it's real.
Like a mockumentary type thing.
Oh, like
Yeah.
a
So then-
Twilight Zone.
So
kind
then
of thing.
but like everyone heard it and was like, "This is the news."
It'd be like if CNN did a
Did a
thing
bit.
right now, being like aliens are here, and then you were like in a day they were like pretty interesting little show we put. You'd be like, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
like
right.
I let my cat go.
Yeah, I let my cat go is so funny, Kyler.
You know,
Being on mushrooms so much that you need your cat to be free.
Let
I
him
wanted her
go.
to be free, man.
I let
Let
my
him be
cat
free.
go.
I ended that trip at a baseball game. I came back to like my body in a baseball game, and it was wild because I'm pretty normally I'm outspoken. I'll speak my mind
Yeah.
Sure.
pretty often than not. And I was at this baseball game, and it was for my buddy's cousin, and they were doing really good. They were just swiping this other team, and my buddy and my other friends, they're like, oh yeah, they're getting hyped. They're talking shit. It's like a little league game, and this mom gets really mad at my friend. She goes, "You need to shut the fuck up." And he's like, "Fuck you, bitch." And I turn around.
Crazy reaction.
I turn around and I go, hey, I'm still on shrooms. I'm like, hey, let's just love, man. Like, we don't
Hello,
do that. She
guy.
goes, you sit down, fat ass. I was like, all right, I'm going to sit
Yeah.
down.
Sorry about that.
All right, lady.
But then I remember coming to my body, and as we're leaving, I was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
I was like, it all left me. I
You
was
came
back,
off shrooms. You go. I hate love.
I was back to being outspoken.
Yeah.
Shrooms are good because it make you feel good and love, and I love everybody. But I don't like how it makes me, like,
Softer.
afraid of confrontation.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to do anything. I just
Yeah.
want you to feel good. It's like, no, fuck you.
I always thought I discovered shit on shrooms. I truly was like, this is when I get back. People
You
are gonna
discover
be,
that
I
your
discovered
opinion
nothing.
on 9/11's retarded.
Well, yeah. Sorry. Also, just for the record, I'm retarded because I think Arab guys did it. Is right? Is that what I?
I think that's a little racist. No, just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is. That's
I
the
do
best
like-
playbook right there.
Yeah, turn it around on me.
You're racist.
So you don't believe in 9/11 conspiracies?
You call them Arabs?
So
You
you're
think you should have an ID to vote?
Arab.
You're racist.
Arab
Yeah.
is a good rapper. He's a rapper that used to rap with Soulja Boy. Arab. Is that who
Arab?
you're talking about? You think Arab?
I do
did
think
9/11?
Arab. I think Arab and Soldier Boy were behind it. I think if you look into the
It's-
numerology of
it's
that dance he
possible.
did, you can
What dan- Okay.
the 9/11 dance where he goes, "You did 9/11 with me," like what that song?
See, that's where I think it's fun. Like we talk about, like what we know. Like, what is the name of Soulja Boy's dance?
The Soldier Boy.
It's called Crank That, Soulja Boy.
All right, well,
Can you show me your best?
hell
Crank
no.
that?
We got cameras here, dude. I'm not
Crank
cranking that for
Show me
free.
your best Crank That.
That's a Patreon. You want to see me crank that? Get on Patreon, dude.
Crank That hog.
Can you do it? You can. I know you can do
Oh,
it.
yeah, it's just like this. That's
Oh,
it.
that's it.
That's it.
I thought that
I'll
was,
still do it
that's
weird.
Young Jock.
Let's crank
Meet
that
me in
Soulja
the
Boy.
trap.
Superman, that
Yeah.
hoe not want me. You crank that Soulja Boy.
Yeah. My girlfriend keeps me up to date on like stupid dances a lot.
Your girlfriend's great.
She's the best. I love her, but it doesn't mean the dances are smart.
I think that you lack.
I call this
brain
the John
rot.
Chris. You seen this? Just because I think John Chris would do it. I know a rapper made it or whatever, but it's like a dance I could see him doing.
You know what that's actually called?
The John Chris. Baptists are different. that's the bit, dude.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's called the whip.
Yeah, and then there's the nay nay,
The
right?
nay-nay, yeah.
What's the nay nay?
Now
That's
watch
this.
me whip. Now watch me nay-nay. Now
Damn, you
watch
guys
me
kind of
whip,
listen. A lot of these
whip.
dances, when you break it down like this, they make sense. But you got to understand, everyone I've ever, the context I'm encountering it is just like a
Yeah.
drunk comedian.
Yeah,
being
but
like,
you're used to doing the monster mash and shit. You know what I mean? It's like you're not fucking, like
yeah,
You're
dude.
the
I will
Charleston.
listen. I will fully admit, God, I wish I could dance. But it's like they're all the parts are
Yeah,
something in
you
my body.
are the opposite of
yeah,
dancing.
they're all independently moving.
Yes,
it's like
yes.
it's like if you gave 13 kids with special needs like one of them gets my knee, one of them gets the other
you
knee.
really do. You have
and
a
they're just
deeply
doing it.
rigid body.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
well,
like being
it's
controlled
because
by
I'm
4 or 5
dealing
kids.
with so much shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
that's
I got to
right.
keep stuff. I gotta disprove all this numerology. No, I would love to. I would so love to dance. I just cannot figure it out. When I did amateur boxing, I could figure out the footwork for that, and I think there's like not a voice in my head being like, "You're dancing right now. Everyone's laughing at you when you're boxing." But when I'm dancing, there's a voice in my head going, "You look. No one's ever looked dumber than you right
and that's
now."
why you don't do shrooms.
Probably,
If
yeah.
you were
It's the
dancing
same
on
voice.
shrooms, you're.
But I have danced on shrooms, just on on an island with other 17-year-old boys, and then I got older and was like, "Hey, don't be doing that shit.
Hey.
Don't be doing
What
that."
island?
We used to kayak out to an island near my house when I was a kid and take shrooms and just run around and
That's sick.
tell each other that homeless guys live there.
That'd be fun, man. We should do a thing where I just teach you like the Dougie, like teaching you how to.
Yeah,
Dougie.
we should
Be
do
fun,
the
some good
shittiest
Patreon
Hollywood
content.
movie. We should do you teaching me black culture as a remake of all these horrible movies.
That'd be cool.
And then I taught him how to love or whatever like
Yeah,
that. All right, on Patreon we'll have you show me how to Dougie.
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
How to Dougie. I teach you how to do the jerk.
The jerk.
You're a
Yeah.
jerk.
I think
I
I've
know.
done that.
You're a
And
jerk.
and,
I
and,
know.
and just to
You
touch,
might be able to do the jerk.
I think I've done the jerk
just to touch
3 times a
on
day since I was 14.
The realness
Come on
of
now.
numerology.
Yeah.
There is some realness.
Show me the realness.
I started implementing like life path numbers when I build estimates for my business, and every time I set an estimate in numerology, it adds up to 7 every time.
Uh-huh.
In the last fucking 4
How
months.
does that prove anything?
Well, in the last 4 months, I've been making a shit ton more money.
Yeah.
And the life path number that I have is 7, which brings wealth, I think.
What is
Yeah.
Life Path? Is this like Life Alert for young
I
people?
think it's a bunch of dumb shit that bitch you likes rocks do. They like,
Yeah.
They're like, hey, lick this rose quartz and fucking ward off evil spirits. And,
And
I'm
that
like,
that really is the crux of anything conspiratorial or weird like that. Is that it's so dense, it's so hard to articulate, and that when you do start talking about something that you might have felt like you really grasped it the night before when you read
Yeah.
about it or you
Oh,
watched
yeah.
a video or you listened to the podcast, and then the next day you start talking about it, and it's so easy to be like, all right, man.
Yeah,
You
well,
sound
that
like an idiot.
especially because you're in control of both the input and the output. There, you go. Listen, you don't think numerology is real, but I've been wearing a shirt that says 421, and if you add that up, it's 7. And then I go, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
that's it. That's it. That's numerology.
And then, all right, we've solved numerology. We covered a lot of ground. I'm gonna check in on what's his name, Shel Silverstein, who owned the World Trade Center.
Larry,
Larry.
Who is Shel Silverstein? That's the poet.
where the sidewalk
Yeah.
ends.
That's the poet.
Look
Yeah.
at him.
Which, by the way, if you look into it, it ends at that building,
Yeah.
which has just been controlled
His uncle's
demolition.
building.
Shel Silverstein's related to Larry.
Yeah, here's what'll blow my mind. I researched it and we find out he had a poem called "Where the World Trade Center Ends."
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's all
yeah.
about 9/11. I go, it was right there all along.
My favorite recent numerology conspiracy is that if you look on the side of Donald Trump's hat, 4745, or 4547, it's 9/11.
It's also the
In
times he was
numerology,
president.
that's
Yeah.
9/11.
Yeah.
So what is like?
Which so
like,
Also, by the way,
yeah, I
no,
can't-
it's
I'm
not.
even trying to disprove you.
It's not 9/11.
4 plus 5 is 9. 4 plus 7 is 11.
Why are we doing 4 plus 5? Oh, I was going 4 plus 4 is 8.
Yeah.
5 plus
yeah, see, you
7
don't get
is 12.
numerology because you're retarded.
Well, no, you're just giving yourself multiple chances.
He's just so smart, and I'm just like, no, you're an idiot. You don't get basic numerology. You don't understand gematria.
You know what though? You know how like the
No.
placebo effect is like super real with like medicine and all that
Oh,
stuff?
yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
probably the same with numerology. So you're
Totally.
probably getting the same benefit from thinking it's true.
Whatever you look for, you'll find.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like that's what I've kind of come to understand is like, yeah, if I want to sit down and go, well, fucking, if you calculate the times and the dates and all this stuff, you can find a connection. It's like, yeah, you
Yeah.
probably could, or you could just leave it the fuck alone and just live.
Yeah,
if you're
I'm with
looking
that.
for something, you will find it.
Yes.
And most people do not understand that, which is why you should put your time and dedication into things that you really like
Like the whip
like
or the nay
work or comedy or a family or
Yeah.
whatever. Because if you're looking for success in these things, you will find it. But if you're looking for a reason to prove why the world's chaos and everyone's in control and they're trying to suppress something, you're going to find that too.
For sure.
So stop fucking looking for it.
No doubt.
That was a pretty good.
That was pretty.
We're
that
gonna
was
end it
well
there.
wrapped.
That
That's
was
a
a good.
summation.
Yeah, I like
What?
it.
You nailed it.
That's the first thing he said that I go, that makes sense. All right, we'll do it again next week. Kyler, you give me your social media stuff.
Kyler Finney comedy.
Leon Kimbrell.
Number Man. No, Connor Larson comedy. And we'll all be on the road. We're going to Tulsa this weekend. If it comes out the 8th and 9th. We got 4 shows this weekend. And, yeah, thanks, everybody. We'll be back next week.
And make sure you follow us on the Boystorm Pod on Instagram.
Boystorm on the Instagram, Reddit, YouTube, all that stuff. All right. See ya.
Godspeed.